wallet is sobbing. I can hear it. I can hear it in the hall now. It is breaking down, crying.
It turns out that Attila, the arrogant so-and-so, he's got a fake hammer.
Oh, a fake?
Yeah.
Whoa.
As I say, dick.
Welcome to episode 87 of the Your Allegiance podcast. This is another Road to Allegiance Con. We've got a couple more awesome interviews this week. So settle down and settle into those. We're just going to have a quick chat about some news before we get into that. So how are you, Mal?
I'm all good. All good.
Yeah.
Invariably, as we do when we're doing our path to Allegiance Con, we record at the weekend, so I'm usually pretty good at the weekends, and I am all good.
Yeah, the people who wonder, why is he smiling all of a sudden?
United haven't played this weekend yet.
Well, there's that. You'll see in the interviews which day was which based on my expression.
Yeah, occasionally when we have in the past, recorded during when maybe one of your teams has been playing and you have it on in the background. It's like I'm always going, oh, I wonder what happened. Oh, and now I know. I see his expression.
Yeah.
This season, big time. Well, last few seasons.
And Rich, you're doing good. Your team won today, so that's not too bad.
They did, yes. I missed the second half. I got dragged out for a family walk, which was very nice.
Well, yeah, you got to do what you got to do, especially.
But yeah, Liverpool.
You got to record podcasts in the evening, so.
Exactly, yes. Yeah, so yeah, no, I'm good. Didn't feel too cold despite getting rid of the huge beard.
Yeah, so, there we go. See, look, so no continuity issues with the interviews this week. He threatened to do it in between two interviews last week, which would have been fun, wouldn't it?
You'd have had to paint shopped a beard on me or something, John, for the second half of it. Going, yeah, that's his beard, honestly.
Well, there's been a lot of cool toys revealed in the kind of world that we inhabit, which is a lot of these independent toy creators and kind of these fantasy toys and stuff like that. Well, we won't talk about them, but we will talk about what the Horseman revealed, which is the Armory stuff. These are the 10 Armory figures that are going to be released next year, packaged as figures, so as kind of finished figures. So they've released this information now, I think, to help with people who are going to do their builds at Legion's Con, and maybe if they see one of the figures here that's built, that could give them an indication to go for something else that they really want. But the advice also is that if you really, really, really want, like the Spice Girls said back in the 90s, you should probably still get it in the Armory if you can, because there's no guarantee that you'll be able to get it in the sale, because obviously an in-stock sale is an in-stock sale, no matter how many figures they have. The demand could be great, and one particular figure could sell out. My bet is on the red guy in the front row here, second row here. He could be quite a popular one.
Brilliant, the one I want the most. Excellent.
Is it?
Yeah. I might have to make it at Legion's Con.
So it was very close to one of your builds, wasn't it? That one.
It was very, very close. Yeah.
So, this one I think was even one that they showed off as an example build. I think so, yeah, it was that one where I had mashed it together, and then I looked at the Horseman's page, and I saw that they had done one very similar. It looked quite different to my mashup, but it was the same parts, except for I think the skirt piece. Didn't we say some of these builds I think you can't actually make at the Armory? Is that correct?
Certainly the one
right.
That red one that they showed originally, you couldn't make it, yeah.
And I think the thing to note here is that not all the pieces have been used. So there's 2 green, or kind of jade green, there's 2 purple, 2 silver, one with the kind of silver armor with the leather, and one with the red armor with the reddish leather, and then 2 of the kind of red knights. No cloth arms and legs pieces used, so that's definitely worth noting. no indication if maybe they come with an extra head or not. So that could be something that's revealed down the line, but maybe not.
I have a feeling probably not. But
So you get the accessory, you get the bag of accessories that we've seen previously.
yeah.
But this is cool, to let people know and hyped. Is there anyone here that's going to be going for the 10-pack? So this is the all-in that they're going to offer for this?
I just don't need it. I think this has helped me decide that I'm going to do me 2 cloth part builds at Legion's Con, and then chance this for the 2 green knights and the purple knight in the corner. And if I miss out, I miss out. It's, it is what it is.
Yeah, for me, this is just icing on top, isn't it? For us that are going to Legion's Con. So I'm not going to
100%.
take the mick on this in terms of trying to order too many, especially if I get a few at Legion's Con.
Yeah, I think
the guys.
Yeah, I think for me, the all-in, while it's great, that's going to hit the threshold for VAT tax and all that sort of stuff here, and it's going to push it to a level I'm not really looking to spend on these. So I'll get what I can at Legion's Con. Try and get like 3 of these maybe when the sale goes live, and
the all-in for me would be like an amazing birthday present, but it wouldn't be something I'd buy for myself. Do you get me?
Yes.
That kind of a thing. Like if I got it as a present, I would be like so happy. So it's not the fact that I have it, but if I was to buy it myself, I'd probably say no. I'll maybe get different figures, or I get a different all-in. And my other suspicion is that after if they do sell out, this is going to be definitely an eBay boon for whoever manages to secure a lot of these. So there will be limits, they said, on the figures. I think 1 per
person.
Yeah, plus the all-in. So yeah, pretty cool. So I think that was all the news that we had this week. Now, until Mal has a bit more, but until we're recording this the weekend prior to it releasing, so there will be some stuff in the meantime that we won't cover. Mal, what you got?
I was just going to mention the reveal of the 4-pack of grayscale skeletons.
That's right. That was the other thing. Yes. I missed that. Yeah. So
sort of answering the call, and although I have a feeling it was planned before, personally, for releasing more skeletons. They're going to do grey skeletons, which will be a pre-sale, excuse me, starting the 14th of this month, October.
That's right, and it's going to be in retailers as well, which is, I think, the really good news.
Oh, is it? I missed that bit.
Yeah, so it's going to be sold direct from the Four Horsemen, but also through their worldwide network of retailers, and the same price. So it doesn't.
Oh, is it the same price at retailers? Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so that's going to be good, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So
here's chances.
Here it is. Yeah. So special 4-edition pack set. Yeah, this is something that, if it's at my retailer, I'll probably pick up, but don't really need. So I might sell some of my the 4 that I have. So I don't know. I'll have to see what comes with these, or if any. There hasn't been any more details as we speak. So other than it'll be a 4-pack.
Yeah, I must admit, I don't know that I need 4 of them, but I really like the idea of the colour of that sort of black and white effect they've got. So, a bit gothic horror-y. So,
would these be maybe a little bit more like the original Skeleton Legion builder colour? Was he more black and white?
No, he was quite.
Might know that one better.
He's a bit yellowy as well.
Yeah, no, he was more yellow on the bones. The face was quite dark. So the face from that.
Yeah, the face maybe. Yeah.
The face was a lot darker than the rest of the bones.
Yeah, but again, a cool thing. I mean, obviously, people love skeletons. We know that, and these skeletons are popular, and I think they reach a little bit beyond the community in terms of Halloween decorations and that kind of stuff. And
which is probably another reason why they're doing the same price at retailers, so that Joe Bloggs down the road can just buy a load for next year's Halloween.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you're into another type of line, but skeletons fit in a lot of different lines. It could be just a backdrop kind of character on a dio or something like that. So yeah, I think this works great.
That was the other interesting thing about this set. And it just cuts off before it says the next bit, which I forget, but it mentions new accessories. And that's it. Some special packaging, which of course they've gone, how do we get Malcolm to buy 2 packs of something he doesn't necessarily need 8 of? Put it in a special package.
Yeah, those nasty horsemen. Yeah, I thought the same. So 14th of October, which is going to be just after this, the Monday after this episode releases. So look out for those. I've seen at least one of the European retailers in Germany near me has mentioned that they will be getting them on their Instagram. Cool. So it's Mighty Underground. So check out your local retailer, because I think that could be easier than getting them direct, depending on where you are. And of course, it supports the retailers, which is awesome too. You know,
probably depending on which retailer you go with, perhaps gives you a bit more time to think if you actually want
dropping the cash. I'm definitely going for one that I don't need to drop the cash before Legion's Con. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and we suggest that to our listeners too. Save your money for the Euro Legions table at Legion's Con.
Actually, I don't think we've mentioned that is also the 14th of October is the day that the Cosmic Sale happens, have we?
Oh yes, the Heavy Gunner is going up.
Oh, the Heavy Gunner, yeah,
and other things, but the Heavy Gunner definitely.
The Heavy Gunner,
which I'll be buying as many of them as I can.
And that's quite limited. That really did seem like it was limited numbers. So this could be another skeleton situation. So I will not be waiting for Legion's Con for that either. I think I will have to get. I think I want 2, so I'll have to order 2.
My plan is to go for 3, which comes nicely under the VAT cut-off and gives me what I want.
Gotcha. And I did get my Frankenstein in, and would you believe it, with all the other painting and stuff I didn't get a chance to open them yet. So maybe I'll do that for the next recording that we do. So, right, so we get over to our interviews for this week. Hope you enjoy them, and we'll talk to you at the end of them. All right, so here we are with another awesome interview on our road to Legion's Con. Well, maybe it's not awesome. We have to do the interview yet, so let's see how it goes. But we have definitely an awesome person in Stephan Delatour from Dtour Customs, which we'll have the pleasure of being right beside this year, which is really exciting because there was a lot of fun and stuff going on at your area last year, Stephan, every time I was over in that area. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you guys for having me on the show again. This is
no
easily one of my favorite shows, and it's always a pleasure to join such fine company. And thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You're keeping busy on the way to Legion's Con. I guess it's one of your biggest shows of the year, or
it is the Industrial Revolution reborn in this place right now. As you can probably hear in the background, all of my machines are whirring and whizzing. It's like a bad day at the Wonka factory, so I'm gearing up and getting everything, getting ready for the show. Every year I try to do bigger and better, and this year is definitely going to be it's going to be a big one. It's going to be a big one.
I like it. And have you done you've done ToyCon New Jersey recently, or?
Yes, a few weeks ago I did ToyCon New Jersey. For that show, I introduced the Blackstone Throne, one of the newer things that I came out with. But the goal of that show is to kind of clear out some inventory, get some extra fun for Legion's Con, and kind of clean the slate a bit. And it was a good success. It was a good show. Kind of helped me clear off the bench and kind of reintroduce some new stuff. As much as I love to bring back the old stuff, I love the new stuff even better. So keep things fresh, keep things keep folks guessing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And do you ever sell like figures or anything at these shows, or?
Oh, so I'm a maniac when it comes to buying Legions in particular, but with other lines as well. So I'll always buy multiple. I have this thing called the rule of 3. You guys probably suffer the same. One to play, one to keep.
Rich has the rule of 12.
Exactly. yeah. The dirty dozen. Huh?
If I'm on a bad day, otherwise it's a rule of 24 generally.
Yeah. Depends on how the bank account looks, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of clearing out the stuff I had duplicates of. I've try to adopt the philosophy of less is more, and don't get it unless you absolutely need it. And in most cases, when buying duplicates, I needed all of them. So I'm trying to minimize and kind of keep things a bit less cumbersome than I have in the past. So it's all about maturing as a collector for me.
Are we there yet, Rich, with the maturing? No.
Oh, good Lord, no! I've been saying to you boys on the last dozen plus episodes, I'm not going to buy as much this year at Legion's Con. I'm not going to buy it. No, it's just about painted heads, no figures, blah blah. And then I realized earlier today that I've already pre-bought 6 painted heads. we're still 5 weeks out, so it's just
leave some for the other collectors. Come on now.
Well, I am helping the other collectors. I was chatting to Len LaGuardia from Wolf King earlier, and I was like, "Oh, have you got this particular sculpt that I'm after?" And he was like, "Oh my God, I completely forgot to put that on the website." Yeah, I've got that. So, I'm helping other people by reminding him he's got a sculpt he needs to put on the website.
You've done him a great service, reminding him of
He's just opening a little drawer in the storage going, whoa, there's lots of these heads. Need to put this on the website. That's it. And Malice, you're keeping us updated on a lot of those 5K toys stuff that's been going around recently.
I mean, most of it I wouldn't even. I mean, I think it looks cool, but I won't buy. But I know Rich particularly likes it, so anything I see,
Rich and I are gonna go crazy.
So he can.
We're gonna go nuts on those.
Yeah, I think it's the right place to say this. I have a problem. I'm not going to lie.
Just not enough storage.
Not enough cash.
Yeah, that too, of course.
That part.
Yeah, all those Mad Lion and figures and all that, they really do float my boat. So I'm very tempted, but trying to kind of stay on steady course here. So it's tricky.
Yeah.
I'm in even more trouble for Legion's Con now because they've announced Valaverse. So
that's right. Bobby Vala is going to be at Legion's Con.
I don't know. Tell me, guys, what do you think? I feel as if the last month or so, there's been such a surge of reveals and drops. It's a bit abnormal. It's never been this good. I feel it's taken leaps and bounds from what we're kind of accustomed to. Everything is a hit. Every day it's a new toy, and every day you look at the bank accounts like, I'm not going to be able to afford this. So it's I think we're entering what I refer to as the platinum era of collecting. Gold era. We get all the properties, but now we're getting high quality, high detail. They're giving us what we want, and it's dangerous. It's very dangerous.
It really is. Yeah,
dangerous
really
is the right word.
Yeah, I get the feeling now, and I know it's kind of been this way over here for a while, is that there's less collecting by going into, your local Target or Walmart and, getting the latest Legends or whatever. It's moving more towards online stuff, specialty retailers, even specialty kind of vendors like the Horsemen or these 5K toy stuff or, all this kind of more like premium level 12, like not Mezco level, maybe the between Marvel Legends and Mezco, that kind of sweet spot. Yeah, that kind of sweet spot. And the quality of stuff there is really good, especially if you're really in the know. And I mean, if you're in all these different groups, that you really get to know what's good, and you can really build up a really cool collection quite quickly, and a big sobbing wallet.
Yeah.
And tell us, Stephan, what I've always been fascinated with you is how did you get kind of started in this whole thing with the artistic side of it? So from what I know a bit of you used to be in the military, or you were?
Yes, I actually retired from the Army 2 years ago.
Wow.
Served 12 years.
Amazing.
But before that,
that was a
ever since
busy time as well. Those last 15 years of...
It's been nuts. It's been completely nuts. Completely nuts. But as far as like the customizing journey, as a kid, there's always this dissatisfaction you have with the toys you got. It's like, well, this toy is cool, but what if it can do this or it looks like this? So you get some twist ties, you get pipe cleaners, you get construction paper, used to make wrestling rings out of shoe boxes, pencils, and rubber bands. So you kind of develop that imagination and that creativity when you're a kid. And for me, it's not something that I've ever let go of. So as the years went by, I tried different mediums, sculpting with clay and, different mixed medias, that type of thing. And, even using the two-part epoxy clay when customizing figures. So I was big into the Marvel Legends customization. And it wasn't until, the 3D printing technology started becoming more affordable that I saw a means to, consistently reproduce things that I like to make and to share with my friends too. So, fast forward, it's where I am now, just cranking out these parts, and designing, sculpting, printing, painting, assembling, breaking most times. So, it's been quite the journey, but I feel like being able to make the intangible ideas in your mind tangible, that is a blessing. That is something that I wish everyone could experience, at least in some capacity. It's so therapeutic. So therapeutic.
And your ideas are often quite big, as we've seen, whether it be your weapons or your die-up builds or your, vehicles you built, for last Legion's Con. You had a catapult.
The catapults,
you were firing goblins across the across the way with Anthony.
Are they coming this year, Steph? Because I didn't see any of the goblins get shot. So,
well, the goblins are on a hiatus from operating though, so we'll make some human-sized catapults for the show this year. A bit more manageable in size. The goblins have had enough. They didn't read the instruction manuals and they got hurt. So.
There you go, Rich. So when somebody comes across to the table and doesn't buy something, you can just pop them in Steph Goblin and shoot, or catapult and shoot them across.
Shoot through the door, yeah.
Yep. We're going to shoot marbles this time. No prison.
Oh, it could be fun. And sword.
Well, every villain in a Marvel film is British, isn't he? So I've got to live up to that reputation.
Well, you guys make it look good. You sound great. You're very imposing. It's somewhat of a compliment, I think. Formidable opponents.
Everyone loves the villains,
Yeah. Yeah, but it's gonna be a pretty good spread. Cosmic, I haven't shown enough love since it's been released, so I wanted to kind of bring some emphasis to the show this year. Mythic will always be number one in my heart, but Cosmic is damn cool. So definitely wanted to kind of provide some additional wares for the Cosmic enthusiast.
Yes, indeed. Well, we have one of the main ones here up above you there on the screen.
Yeah,
I will. Well, we're going to see one of.
Yeah,
I was going to say.
There we go. Look at that
Cosmic speeder action.
Totally be. I'll be nicking one of them before the day starts.
Cool.
So that's basically, what do you call it, Steph? It's like a speeder, kind of?
It's the Cosmic Velocipod.
Velocipod, there you go.
It just sounds cool and it rolls off the tongue pretty nicely.
Is that all resin?
This is actually PLA.
Oh, right.
So this is solid. So the weapons are resin. These actually resin, come off.
They plug in.
And there'll be additional weapon types at the show. Just for this prototype, I just left the stock blaster, but you'll have some big cannons to swap out with. So, additionally, there'll be a flame tail that's illuminated coming out of here.
Oh, awesome!
And on the bottom, it's there's a hole that I'm going to put a translucent cylinder as a stand. So you can have the hovering effect, but what it'll also be, it'll be illuminated. So the instrument panel on the inside will illuminate as well. So when you have your rider sitting, there'll be a faint glow kind of bouncing off the chest.
Oh, that's awesome.
For the handles, instead of making traditional handles, I just made some portholes. Just stick the hands in there. That way you don't have to worry about different size characters dealing with grips and things of that nature. Just stick the hands in there. It'll be all right. But
awesome.
Solid.
Yeah, so that and because it's PLA, then on the main body, it's a little bit more sturdy for for kind of messing around with. And
absolutely, yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've dropped this.
Yeah.
My pinky toe is screaming right now, but it's it's all this. It's a good hunk of plastic.
Nice.
You don't have to worry about breakage or anything like that. It's pretty reliable.
Yeah, and then good for transporting back across the Atlantic, boys. How about that?
Exactly.
I was going to say, judging by Mal's face, I think he's already checking how much an extra bag is. I can get 10 of those in an extra bag. Is it worth the cost? Yeah, I can do that.
So, listeners, when you come to our table and we're all just looking over at, we're all just reached over across the table at Steph's, you'll know why, because we're just all cooing at the different stuff there. Yeah, so this is, we have a couple of pictures that we have just to go. So this is the kind of, I guess, design for the pod. So this is, you did this yourself?
Yes. So I'm a one-man show.
You're a jack of all trades, aren't you?
Yeah, which is why it kind of takes me so long to do things, and I'm literally at every step of the process at the helm. So, but yeah, this is something that I actually freestyled. I had no idea how I wanted it to look. I just sat in my my chair, and I'm like, I'm gonna make believe I'm a spaceship, and I just started kind of maneuvering around in place and making the whizzing sounds and the laser shots, and it kind of just came to me like that. I drew heavy inspiration from Kanada's bike in the Japanese film Akira. He had this very futuristic bike, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. So I took some panel elements from that, and I did the design on the side. And I thought about, if I was on a hover bike, what amenities would I expect? So I put like some vents on the seat. So, AC can never hurt anybody when you're flying that fast. Or heating for that matter. So I just try to make it look cool and seem somewhat functional as a practical hovercraft.
I thought you were going to say cup holders there for a second, Steph.
Well,
like, what would I want on a hover bike? Cup holders.
There is a space to put snacks on the inside. So
yeah, for me, this looks like something that's like we could realistically get down the line in Cosmic in terms of if they were ever going to do vehicles. This type of one woman piloted thing is something very realistic that you could actually see being made. We all have dreams of like a massive spaceship playset. It's going to cost $500,000, but for me, I like these type of things because you can just put maybe you have put a couple of characters on them, make a nice little display for customizing. They're realistically big, where you're because when you have if somebody gets if they do the massive dragon, and then of course what's one crazy person is going to try and customize it. Painting something that big it's
going to be nuts.
A lot of work.
Yeah. And oftentimes, like, I kind of want to make things really bombastic and really large, but I remember that, we collect a lot. We have a lot of figures. Yeah. The big stuff is nice, but is this something practical that you put on your shelf? And so I ended up downsizing this considerably. This was actually much bigger.
Right.
I want to say maybe 50% bigger than it is now. And I just trimmed it down, try to make it more practical. And it was at that point I came up with the name too. It's more like a pod, something very small, part of something possibly bigger, maybe a bigger vehicle, but it's your little skiff when you're out in outer space that you can take advantage of.
It's a good, because looking at that, you can get a second person on the back if you want to, a second character, can't you?
Yeah.
Comfortably. So you could, be a getaway vehicle for, a couple of dubious sorts.
And especially if they do down the line, if they do your little dream small alien 3-pack or something, you could put one or two of them on the back, Rich.
Oh yeah, you get half a dozen of those on easy.
Little sidekick on the back, Yeah, no.
If they ever do the tiny alien, Steph, you'll need to put little seats on the gun, so the tiny aliens can be sat there firing the guns.
That would be awesome. Sure. Heck yeah.
Yeah,
that is
put us down for 3 of these. Put us down for 3 of the pods.
You got it.
We're good for them. Right, we got this awesome throne as well. Back to Mythic here, I guess. I mean, it could also be Cosmic, depending on what you want, but classically Mythic. And you've got these flame effects sticking out here as well, which is what you. Oh, look at! I'm going to make you big there so we can see you live doing it. There you go. That's pretty nice.
Those are cool.
Very, very cool.
And is that the same? Is that the same material as the pod?
Yep, PLA as well.
Nice.
I think that, and again, it kind of goes back to the technology kind of catching up with our imaginations. PLA has had the reputation of leaving a lot of layer lines, looking, a bit wonky, but the new machines, the new tech, they've significantly reduced that. And I was actually able to print this and just a couple of layers of primer and some dry brushing, and that was it.
Wow, amazing. So I mean, nearly anyone could, anyone that has the hobby tools, even if you're not the world's best painter, you're going to be able to do a decent job at this.
Absolutely. I'm actually horrible at painting, so if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah, you say you're not that bad, Steph, but I guess when you do all these things, painting takes a long time. So I think you're one of these painters that knows the best way to do something quickly and that it still looks good. And that's what you need to do
the fast food lane of
products.
The customizing.
Yeah, you want to show off your stuff, and it's better to show off a painted version, of course. I think gives people a better idea of it. So that's really cool. I have heard a good few people actually that that do the printing like you and all that have said that they've started to dabble within this. Was it FDM printers? Isn't that what they're called?
Yep.
And that they are getting much better for that kind of stuff. So it seems to be something that we'll probably see more of as we go along in the next year or two.
Absolutely. And what it does is it allows the creators to make things that a resin build plate wouldn't be able to support. Mm-hmm. So vehicles, bigger statues, structural parts. Now we're breaking barriers here as far as what we can actually make and actually look good. So you're going to see a lot of thrones coming soon.
Cool.
A lot of statues and more vehicles, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, because as well with the kind of very symmetrical kind of, stuff, the kind of like things like tables, thrones, even spaceships, with resin, you're going to eventually have some support marks maybe on some of those, depending on the
divots,
size of them. Yeah. And that even if it's a really good print, there's always going to be one or two, and then
it hurts.
You can fill them up, but it is quite tricky. So it's nice to not have that problem.
Like, so if you'll notice, the back of the throne is really, really smooth. So that's how I actually printed. So it was printed face down, just like this.
Yeah.
Layered up. No supports. One shot. Wham, bam. Thank you, man.
All right. So
I love that style too. I mean, we were saying about Cosmic. I could see is it the Wasteland Warlord or whatever it is they're hinting at in Ox Crew Book 2.
Yeah.
You can see when that character's in Book 3 sitting on something like this, couldn't you? Like a bit lower tech and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Steph sort of jokes
Matt,
about Steph sort of jokes a bit about there being lots of thrones, but there is room for thrones for every faction, essentially styles of thrones for every faction. So there's room for a lot of thrones out there.
Oh yeah. Everyone wants to take a seat every once in a while. Rest your weary legs, that type of deal.
Exactly.
Sure is. Here's the catapult, the famous catapult we talked about. So these were sold last year, or did you have more?
A brother and sister pair came and swiped them up for reasons unknown. I don't know if they're at war with each other, but they picked them
just
up.
Having family battle down the corridors.
It's driving their parents crazy, I would imagine. But so this year's thrones will actually be about 50% smaller.
Yeah.
Only so that they can. Oh yes, I'm sorry. I'm throwing
no
more
problem.
right now. But the catapults, they'll be 50% smaller to kind of support easy transport facilitation on the shelves. I made these out of real wood too, so they were really heavy.
Whoa. That's cool. Yeah, so definitely head over if you want to see a bit of catapult fun. And behind you there, you were telling us these are going to be castle thrones or castle towers. Sorry, these long
these
things here.
These massive tubes. Let me grab them. They're about.
Oh wow, they're bigger than they look.
They're bigger than Steph.
Yeah,
this is the real near far away thing here.
Yeah, so this is actually concrete pouring tubes. The columns. I didn't want to make a boxy castle like I've had in the past. I wanted to make something very elegant looking, very streamlined, smooth. So best way to do that is to get something cylindrical. And I picked these up at Home Depot, and I was like, man, imagine if I could get a castle tower that big. So challenge was, how I'm going to do the bricks. It's like, oof, I got to cut them out individually. So I have my homework.
Oh my God. So you're going to be sticking bricks to that. Whoa.
I'm telling you.
That's some work.
Call me
you need to get the kids to work, Steph.
Yeah.
Right. So that castle there will be replaced with a bigger one.
Yeah. I got to retire that old castle. That one is, that one's pushing 10 years now.
Wow. Still looks good.
Good.
Hey guys, I've suddenly thought on the plus side, we can say if you're looking for the Eurolegions table, we're the one next to the giant castle.
Yeah,
exactly.
You'll be able to see us from any point on the floor. We're the next to the giant castle.
Yeah, we brought it over from Europe and just plopped it on Steph's desk.
Brick by brick.
There's also a really special reason why I'm choosing such a high tower. Without going into too much detail, because this is like one of the bigger surprises that I'm bringing to LegionsCon, but a larger object will be perched on one of these towers.
Oh, heard it here first,
folks. Really, really large object. Really, really large.
Yeah. Oh my God. We're surrounded here, Rich. We're going to be surrounded by all
this. Yeah. I have to admit, it shows how my brain works. When you said a really large object on a tall tower, I had just a massively overweight Rapunzel. But I'm guessing it's not going to be that.
That would be a good one. That would actually be hilarious.
That would be good. Yeah, tease it, and then it's that. Yeah,
an ogre queen Rapunzel. Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
That'd be good. Yeah.
Tell you what, there'd be people that would be into that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. If time permits, I might actually do that. That's pretty awesome.
This is how the best ideas start, huh?
Yep.
Right, you've got these awesome flame swords as well. These you didn't have these last year, is that right? These are from.
No, these came after LegionsCon. They were part of the ToyCon show that I did.
That's right.
That was actually the first version with the dragon on the guard. I just had this idea for a sword based off of worm dynamics. Just the blade is complete flame, and you just have the dragon design on the handle. Since then, I've kind of made like a version 2, but kind of based off of basic sword that I have also.
Okay.
A little bit easier to wield for the 2.0s, because that other sword was massive. So the 1.0s can handle it, but the 2.0s kind of fall short. So this one, it's pretty universal as far as the body types that can handle it. And just to show you the versatility, I got this Joy Toy Space Marine, this Blood Angel, and he's wielding the red version.
Oh, that's nice.
And as you can see, cool. The weight is perfect. It doesn't overcome the shoulder joints, and it's a bit more practical. So I'll have these in a couple different colors for the show. And later on, I'll offer them in a multi-pack like I did with the magic effects.
Yeah, the magic effects we have here as well. These are great for the Poxus Wave figures to mix it up there with your Legion's magic effects.
Yeah,
in a bunch of different colors as well. So this is just a specific type of colored resin, is that right?
Yeah. So I did each one in a different color. You can also use dyes with clear resin.
Gotcha.
But I found that, I can save some steps by just buying the actual color and offering those.
So if they were dyeing the resin, you'd actually put the dye in the tray in the printer and mix it there and then. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
But I found, I'm not a creature of habit. So I'm very random. I'm very erratic sometimes. So I would almost never get the same color twice.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, exactly. You wouldn't be there with the 2 drops this time. Oh, but now I have an extra 500 mils of resin or whatever.
Yeah. The only thing I ever get right is the actual ratio mixes, is because I can't mess that up. But otherwise, I'll leave the color to the pros and just buy the colors already.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that with painting sometimes with the the mixes, unless it's really matching a specific figure. I'm very much. What did I do the last time? Crap! I should have wrote that down.
Yeah, even to get a consistent gray, I'm like, well, how many parts white did I use? How many parts black? Let me add a little bit more black in it. Oh, now it's too dark, and I'm out of white. So we're not painting today. Yeah,
but it's fun. It's fun. That's creative.
Absolutely.
This I love as well.
Ooh, yes.
This is
one of my favorites.
Clear. Is it a clear kind of?
It's an acrylic,
kind of an effect.
Yeah, and I just I have this Cricut machine, and I made the designs and transposed the designs onto a circle, and the Cricut just etches it right into the acrylic. And then what I do is I bore a hole in the center, about the same diameter as the thickest part of the 1.0 wrist, so that you pop the hand off, pop this on. Looks like he's casting a rune, a magic rune.
That's
effect.
Genius. That's genius.
Really cool.
Yeah.
And
so is this the same technique that guy that does the cosmic things that look like this?
Oh, can of beams? No.
Yeah,
he uses some printing technique. I'm not sure which, but he uses a printing technique.
He uses
with certain how do I say a lot of luminescent colors. So when the light hits it, it looks just right. But this is a little bit different. So when I etch it, it comes out as a clear acrylic with white inscriptions. And depending on what light you're using in your photographs or whatever is ambient at the time, that's the color it's going to actually adopt.
But
so
that's quite.
This is not actually
quite
blue.
versatile for photographers. Then they can really use it with multiple figures, the same one, and have the different lighting.
Absolutely,
to match the.
I did experiment with some translucent paints over this, and they work. But I feel like I want to leave it up to the customers what colors they want to deal with. So I just leave it as a neutral, clear and white. So
works for me. Is this something you'd be into, Rich, for your figures, or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I like all the spell effects and the little accessories.
We don't need to ask you, Mal. You love translucent.
Oh yeah, any bits of transparent, translucent plastic, I'm on it.
Yeah, this is something I'd definitely be interested in picking up. Right, you got a bunch of heads as well here.
Yes.
So these are the ones that I found on your Insta. Are these the latest heads you have, or?
So a couple of them are relatively old, but I actually never offered them in shop. I've only sold them at shows. But I kind of want to do a head spread for the show this time around. I feel like I've been neglecting that. I've been so focused on weapons of mass destruction. Heads are just as important. It's part of the aesthetic.
So talk us through the different characters here, or what they are.
Everybody's evil. I'm very much into the dark fantasy aesthetic.
Which is ironic because you're such a nice guy, So I suppose that's your yang to your yin.
Yes. There's something about the villain that just they always have the best designs and the best equipment. You look at Transformers, right? Autobots and Decepticons. Decepticons have rockets and jets and Megatron turns into a gun, So, and then you got the Autobots, ambulance. I'm threatened by this ambulance. Thanks, but
And a VW Beetle. Oh no, that's such a scary vehicle.
Yeah, exactly. But it's something about that aesthetic. Very sharp edges, very pointy, very streamlined, and very clandestine. I just find inspiration in a lot of those motifs, and I kind of just come up with these. And I think for the most part, they kind of reflect how I perceive symmetry and design and how things are structured. Everything needs a horn. You need sharp, pointy bits, and everybody's starving, so they have their mad faces on. So it's
I love it.
Yeah, but I'll definitely have these.
Which is your favorite one of these then?
So my favorite is actually the guy on the bottom right with the
kind of big, it's almost like a sword sticking out of his helmet.
Yeah. He's actually the newest one. It's very it's the Duke helmet, but like a dark Duke, very prominent in stature and very flowy, but all the same has this evil air about him. And depending on the situation, you could swap him out to be a good guy too. But I think it has a very arcane darkness about it.
I love it. And boys, what's your favorite here, Rich?
I was going to say, I've sent you and Mal a picture each of the other bottom one, which Steph very kindly gifted me. I think at the Legion's Con 22, and I had painted up to go onto a Silverhorn Sentry. So I've turned it into a good guy.
Yeah, that's the Overlord sculpt. He was the very first one I ever sculpted for Mythic Legions.
It's very cool.
But awesome. No, I think my favorite is probably the same one as Steph's, but the one directly above it as well with the faceplate and no eyes. I love that look as well.
That one is probably my favorite as well. It's got kind of a horror vibe about it, and I actually saw it and thought, that painted up to fit on the Vorgus Familius body would look really cool.
Actually, I did one for ToyCon last year. Painted it up red, gave him a nice little shield. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, even the clear red resin maybe as well would be a good option for him.
That's a great idea.
Talking about the Vorgus vibe. Yeah, my favorite would be the one you picked as well, Steph, but followed closely by probably all of them. I mean, I could do Mal on this, but
they're very good.
If I was to pick the next favorite, it's the one kind of directly above him with the kind of faceplate helmet over that grill, the horns. Yeah, but I really like them.
Yeah, that one with the faceplate, the no eyes sort of thing. Blaze has done one to match Demistros.
Cool.
So I'm in talks around that.
Negotiations have been opened. Bids have been submitted.
Blaze is after some older Von Bock sculpts, which I've got unpainted stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm after a couple of his painted pieces. So there'll be a bit of trading going on.
Trading is good. Yes. Yeah, that's a good way to get to the further up in the queue. Yeah. Right, let's move along here a little bit. So we got weapons then, Steph, which you're kind of most famous for, or that was where I first heard of you selling through Legion's shop, I think, originally.
Yeah,
with weapons.
RIP Legion shop, that was such a great time, labor of love too. Getting those pieces out. We were experiencing the creative boom that was offset by COVID. So a lot of folks were digging into their collections. Well, hey, I need some accessories. So, where there's a demand, someone will supply. So I started cranking out some designs and some weapons for Legions. This is not a knock against, the stock weapons that come with what we have now, but a little variation never hurt anybody. So I tried to make things as bombastic as possible, try to give folks things that they never, had before for Legion. So that was the genesis of it all. But this set right here has since been retired. I actually may bring back the shield. I really like that shield.
It's really cool. It's almost like an eye in the middle of it.
Yeah. It's like a
bring that back, Steph. Definitely bring that back with an eye in the middle.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
you've got a sale from me if you bring it back.
1 guaranteed sale, 2 guaranteed sales because I'll get it too. And you've got this, so on the horse here with this massive big jousting spike and another cool
That was
shield.
such a dangerous weapon. I don't think I'll bring that one back. It's so pointy and so sharp. I had scabs all over my hands just handling these things. I think I might have made 50 sets of this. There's a sword and shield, lance and shield set. I'm a big fan of doing things in sets. It just adds to the
Yeah.
But I had such a gnarly time handling these things. I'm like, somebody's gonna get hurt, and I don't want blood. I have blood on my hands already, but I don't want somebody else's blood on my hands.
Yeah, Hasbro or Mattel wouldn't have released this.
Yeah, no. A lot of
floppy plastic.
And then finally, we have here 2.0 Knight holding this double-sided axe. Another cool one.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of just using more than just plastic. I like using wood and metal, and try to introduce different properties to the stuff that we collect and how we display them. So instead of printing out a 5-inch long lance or spear, I'll get some wooden dowels in there. Adds a bit of authenticity to the handles that you might see elsewhere, and not just that, it's lightweight, it's less expensive, and it's quicker for me to make something like this as opposed to printing an entire shaft and have it snap on you or bend, or at least with this, it's plug and play. You can pop the wooden dowel out, maybe put on a shorter handle. Adds to the variation of it too. So
yeah, those long handles in resin are always a bit they're a bit scary, even if the resin is getting better. Very good. Well, that's what we had to talk through. Boys, have you any more things you want to bring up with Steph, apart from how excited we are to hang out in November?
Very excited to be hanging out with him. Yeah,
a blast. It was going to be. I'm excited.
How's your boy doing, Steph, as well?
He's doing great. He's the reason why I'm sick. When he what the hell those daycare cooties?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We've had that here as well since school started. So they're I felt like older,
a little frog in my throat. I'm like, oh no, I got the show this weekend. I cannot lose my voice right now. So I've been chugging OJ and cough syrup and lozenges.
Well, you got to the end of it. Don't worry about it.
We made it.
And the best thing is you get that out of the way for Legion's Con, and we'll all be having a great time. Yeah. Are you going to intern?
No intern for me. I always lose the lottery, but that's okay. I'd rather someone else experience it. I think for the most part, there's nothing. And I don't want to take away from the experience, but I don't think there's anything at intern that I won't be able to capitalize on during the show.
Gotcha. Yeah.
All the people are there. All the figures are there. I think as far as processes, somebody who's new to Legions would benefit the most from the intern, for sure.
You're not too far away, so you could always just turn up and knock on the door. I'm sure they'd let you in.
Hey guys.
Just a random day,
Like knocking on the door and Cornboard's just like staring at me like, who is this guy? Who is this weirdo?
Yeah. I'm sure they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that to you. Very good. Thanks, Steph. That was amazing.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I can't wait to see my bunkmates once more. Come November.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
And Dtour Customs. Here we go.
Yeah, we'll bring you some European chocolate, some British chocolate.
Yes, please. You know I'm a sucker for those. Oh my gosh. Man,
they'll be all over our table.
Yeah.
Cheers, Steph.
Cheers, John. Cheers, Mal.
Cheers, Steph.
Take care.
We have Matt Stein, table mate of Anthony Houseal. He's table number 1. Matt, do you ever think you were going to make table number 1?
No, I never. I was shooting for like somewhere between table 50 and 60.
Yeah.
But to get number 1 was really great.
I remember last year when we had our table, it was we were in the main room, which was already like, well, yes, we were lucky we got in on time for that. So I was quite happy with that. So to be number 1 is it's pretty cool. And is it going to be half and half with Anthony, or how are you going to break it up?
Yeah, I think minimum I'll have half a table. I bought a 3-tiered shelf to put on my table so I can have some more display room.
You semi-locals there have the luxury of that kind of infrastructure. I'm just happy to get my bits over. And we'll cobble by.
Yeah, it's why I drive. I mean, it's a 13-hour drive for me.
Wow.
But I'd rather be able to bring everything I want, and more importantly, bring everything back that I bought.
Yeah,
without having to worry about it.
13 hours. Wow. So that's how many miles is that?
God, be over like 800, 900. It's like it's up there. The way down, I go halfway, sleep, and then go the next half. But the Monday after, I get up at 5 a.m. and drive all the way home, so I don't have to miss another day of work.
That's crazy. So what do you do for work, Matt?
I am a consultant for. We do custom software development.
Okay, so IT related stuff.
Yeah, everybody calls it IT stuff. You know?
So, if anyone...
I don't do printers. I don't do computers.
Oh, no, printers are not IT. Printers are just nightmare fuel as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. As a former IT person, and Mal, I think, is the current one as well. So.
IT support.
Yeah, I just sit here all day. I work from home.
Oh, you work from home. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
so this is my office.
Wow, what an office. If you can see this on the YouTube, you see Matt he's got a nice little display behind it. We might get into a bit of that.
I got my attorney set up there.
That is nice. Is that the new one? Or
Yeah, I could afford the old. I mean, I could barely afford the new one.
Yeah, the new one is rough enough on price, never mind the old one. But nice that it was possible to get that, because it was really a unique piece. And I'm not sure many of us remember that from our childhood.
I didn't know it existed until I saw it in Big, the movie Big, because it was on a poster in the background. I'm like, what is that thing?
I never heard of it. I knew about the laser figures, but that was the last thing I kind of knew about them, because I actually had them. I think I mentioned this before, but like long gone, but I remember having them because I remember the light up feature. And when I got the classics ones, I was like, these I remember. It's amazing. But yeah, Mal, can you drive that far in the UK in one line without having to do a circle? I doubt it.
On the spot. I don't think so, or at least we get to the end of the country from where I am, at least.
Yeah, I know. So I'm pretty much, we're in Luxembourg here, but it's pretty much the top of France and the bottom of Belgium. And I think if I took off down south from here, I'd get well into Spain with that far. Oh. So I'd go all the way through France. So. Yeah, it's quite a drive. So, while it's kind of cool that you can pack up your car, it's not without effort. And you're driving solo as well, or?
Yeah. I just put an audio book on and listen to some fantasy books and just get my drive going. Yeah, I drove over to the guys last year in the UK. It was a bit broken up because I had to go in the Channel Tunnel on the train thing. But it was probably 4 hours and 4 hours. So, that's what I do as well. Audiobooks, podcasts, whatever. And then I try and if I don't have a good audiobook kind of ready, I try and kind of not listen to podcasts a few days before I go. So build them up. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing for the flight over to LegionsCon for sure. Well, I mean, there's so many Legions podcasts now. If you skip a week, you're good for both trips. It's hard to keep up. I already struggle because of our show, and we have to obviously put it together. And like a couple of people that we've had on are going to have on have been on other shows, and of course I want to watch and see what they said on those shows so that it's not just a total repetition, but it can be hard to do it, yeah but I think between the three of us we'll manage, man, huh? We'll struggle through. And so Matt, how did you get into Legions then firstly, and then we'll get to the customizing? Well, it's funny because I've known Cornboy and George way back in the day. I knew back in the Motu 2000X days with Cornboy. And then cool. I knew George way back in the day from Glios stuff, because I used to work on a Glios line. That's interesting. Yeah. So you had passed in the toy industry then? Oh yeah. I did. It's a line called Battle Tribes, a little 3-inch kind of He-Man looking ones. I did a lot of the design work on those and photo work for him.
So no wonder he was quick. Because my other question was, you got pretty good pretty quick at the customizing, but now that answers some of that to me.
Yeah, I still get a little obsessive when I do things. So
join the club.
But I was all in on like the fantastic exclusive stuff. So back to the the cows and the Gothtropolis stuff. And then I had the Great Divorce of 2007 and had to sell all that stuff. I was going to do the Kickstarter for Mythic Legions, but a friend talked me out of it because he said it's just a lot of money. And that was the time when they were throwing in figure after figure after figure. And I'm like, that's just a lot. And so I passed on it. And then I kind of played in every PowerCon I would grab the Motu one just to get a taste. And then I kind of went cold turkey on it. And then it wasn't until, and I'll try to not make it too down. I lost my mother just over 2 years ago, and Christmas time was a big thing for us. I mean, I even got a Christmas tattoo.
Oh yeah.
She used to always say, yeah, she always used to say Merry Christmas to me when she was happy. So that's what it says.
Okay. So any time of the year.
Yeah. It didn't matter what time of year. She would just say Merry Christmas to me.
That's brilliant.
And the Father Christmas figure came out, and I was like, my friends were like, you have to get it. Like it was that Christmas after she just passed in September. And I'm like, yeah, I got to get it. And I got it. And I was like, okay, this is dangerous. Like I got, and then I was out in January seeing my dad for Christmas time. And there's a retailer, a Four Horsemen retailer, Top Dog Comics out there. And they had some of the vampire stuff. And I'm like, all right, I'll just get one or two. And then we went back again. Then I'm like, I'm just going to do vampire. And then the next thing you know, like that's what all that back there is Legions. So it didn't work.
It's a good few shelves. Yeah.
I went a little nuts.
But you found yourself in a pretty cool community. So,
it's been one of the biggest selling features of the line for me is just I've made a lot of friends over the past 2 years. So it's been great.
For sure. And obviously you got to know Anthony pretty well, who you're sharing a table with. He's been a pillar of the community, as we know, and obviously welcomed you in with open arms.
Yeah, we share a dwarf love. And that's really what kicked me off into the customizing was once I was getting in the line and trying to track down, and I realized there were certain older figures I just couldn't afford. Even though I spent more than I wanted to on some, I like once you get into 200, 300, 400, I'm like, I can't do that. I just... And so I came across some of Jeremy videos at Mythic Customs, just, painting the dots and all that kind of stuff. And so, again, I was dealing with my mother's loss of my mother. And so I just found something to put my energy into. And so February of 23 was the first time I picked up a paintbrush, and then I just didn't stop. So it's been just over 18 months now that I've been painting. Give or take.
It's pretty cool because we will have a look at your stuff, and it's pretty cool. You sold some last year as well, because I know that Rich bought.
He was the first one to buy one.
Yeah.
I put some up for sale online because I didn't really obviously I didn't have a table last year. Though I put some in the King of the Mountains display, but they get kind of lost in there just because there's so much that Anthony does with that. Plus, I don't think anybody knew me from anybody at that point. But yeah, I turned around and I had like 40 customs already done. And I'm like, I can't keep all these. Like, it's just too many. So I put some up for sale online. Richard was the first one. And he just did the bio like last week, I think, on the one that he bought from me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Cause he's doing his little series of posts.
Which I'm terrible at. Like, people ask, what's their name? I'm like, I have no idea. Like, he's Metal Dwarf 2. I don't know.
That's why we need people like Rich, because he's firstly a big customs collector, and that's part of his angle is, okay, I'm not going to be a painter, but let's write a cool bio and
and it flushes it out more. And I don't have that. I don't have that writing skill. But yeah, I started selling a little bit more here and there because I never started with the intent of selling.
That's the best way though, because then you've no expectations and you just kind of go at it like how you want to.
And I still don't do like a ton of, like, I've done some commission work here and there, but it's mostly been very loose. hey, I would like a female dwarf that kind of looks, because what I don't want it to turn into a job per se.
Yeah,
like I don't want somebody sending me notes back. Like, I did that world once before. I don't want to do that again.
Yeah, for sure. Like even don't do commissions as such, but I've painted pieces for Rich, who painted stuff, but like just parts, heads and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's very free and easy for the most part. It's like, okay, I wanted to match this figure or something, or I want this to be cosmic, go nuts. That's the kind of, there's very rarely that he's extremely specific. And even if he is, he'll also take your feedback pretty easily. So I think that's the best. I could imagine some of the nightmares of like, if you imagine the people customizing, say, Mezco heads or even Marvel Legends stuff, and it has to be accurate to this version of Superman in this comic with this, you're like, whoa. And, I understand that obsession with characters with so much lore and kind of thing behind them. But as someone that would do a commission for it, that would be tough. And you'd have to be pretty pro, I would say,
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole different level of talent.
Yeah.
And I don't ever see me getting to that point.
No, it has to be a hobby, I think, and for me, it's the same. And Legions Con is a great outlet to firstly show off your stuff. And my goal with Legions Con would always be to fund that I could do it next year, to buy the stuff for next year. And if it also covers a bit of the flight or a bit of the hotel, then brilliant, But we ain't getting rich off this. Sure.
No. Nobody really makes money at doing any of us. No. Even the greats like Emil and Miller and like those guys aren't. I mean, everybody has real jobs. This funds our hobby, and it's part of the community and fun. Like if it wasn't fun, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the amount of time it takes to paint something to a really high standard, no matter how good you are at painting, there's a time element that's always there, and you just can't get paid enough for that time compared to
and there's a threshold, right? Like there's a threshold that people are going to be, and some people can charge more than others because, I mean, they've earned it at this point with the work that they put out.
Yeah,
so
for sure. Well, shall we take a little look at some of the stuff that you've sent us over that you're going to have? And
I don't remember exactly what I sent over.
Let's see. That's a little surprise for us. So first I've put a couple of them on each slide so we can kind of...
Straight away with the cool.
Yeah. I recognize this as Noah's, one of the heads Noah did with Jeremy Wilson.
Yeah, when I saw that go up, I messaged him like, I need one.
Yeah.
Like, it's just nice to get some different people putting some good dwarf heads out there.
For sure,
And so then the head on the right is Dirk and dwarf... I'm drawing a blank.
Dwarf Lord, is it?
Yeah, something
Designs.
like that. Yeah.
And that's a Wolverine tribute, which is really cool. You used also these daggers there, Legions parts, I guess.
No, those are actually there's a third-party guy that makes stuff for different, Kana Beams. He makes all kinds of different effects and stuff. And these are metal claws that he made that fit into Marvel Legends hands. So I just had to basically, modify the hands to be able to glue the claws into the hands.
Nice. And so what's your process? Do you do everything by brush? Do you have...
Yeah, I'll brush.
Yeah. And yellow is a fun color. I know that.
Oh my God. So many layers. Many layers.
It's a patience thing, isn't it? Yeah. And especially for a tribute character like that, you have to kind of nail the color.
Yeah. Well, and I did 2 yellow figures back to back, and I about wanted to just jump off the bridge. Like it was so bad.
Yeah, I love yellow as a color on a figure. Like, so I'm always tempted to use it as well. But sometimes I have to think, okay, do I have the time and patience at the moment for this? And I love that you use the Poxus torso on this guy.
Love that chest plate so much. Like if I could get 1 million of those. I mean, I love all the Poxus shoulders, the Poxus soft goods, the Poxus chest piece. Like I've used them every chance I get at this point.
Yeah, he is one that if he's on the Horseman table at Legions Con, could even though he's a deluxe, he's definitely worth picking up.
He's still worth
for parts.
Getting all those pieces out of it.
Yeah, for sure. Right, we have another tribute here in the Ram Man, which really like that. That's it's Legion shop, I think, that had that upper body. Is it?
Yeah, it was originally a Legion shop head, and then Lynn picked it up at Wolf King.
Wolf King, yeah.
Yeah, and he's modified it a little bit. And I didn't even realize, because I painted the original one when I first started, because it had no eyes to paint. So it was like, it could be my first head. I
love those.
Paint eyes. And I didn't realize some of the changes. The original one had really bigger mustaches. Like it was like, and so Lynn kind of lowered that profile down. So that was fun. And then I also there's a magnet in his axe and on his back, so his axe can just stick to his back.
That. Love that. Yeah. I've done a couple of shield handles with the magnet, and they work great. Once you get it on. And is that is that the D&D character from the Elkhorn from?
No, it's just lower. Nope. That's some soft good pants.
Soft goods, awesome. Cool. And then you've got the Sebadom head. I know here. It's is that Justin Johnson?
I can't remember. I know I got it from Planetary, which I'm going to miss so much.
Yeah, we all are, for sure.
I mean, they're some of my favorite head sculpts, and like their body, like I just love them.
Yeah, I love them for two reasons. One, they're in Spain, so so you can get on this side of the world for once. You can get the good shipping too, and his portfolio is fantastic. And you got the big torso as well. That's also from him, or yeah.
I'm using that torso to do a snowman, and I've filed off the nipples and filled in the belly button, so it's going to look really weird.
There's nothing wrong with snowman nipples. I mean,
I suppose I don't judge. Depend who's building the snowman. Painting white Mal. Good luck with that.
Yeah. That's another fun one.
Another fun one. And you got
Off-white, sure. White, no.
And these are the Pox's shoulder pauldrons as well. So
and the Pox's soft goods.
Yeah, it's just a sweet. I actually painted one of these axes recently as well. That's from Anthony, isn't it? The one with the kind of, is it a ram head or something?
It almost looks like a dragon skull.
Maybe
it's meant to be like a little dragon. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it could be. Yeah, need to look at it closer. Right, we have some female dwarves here, so very cool. You don't see that as much. Probably will see it more when we get the Amazing Dwarf 2-pack.
Which I still need to order more of those. I've only ordered like 7 or 8 of those, and I need more.
This is Legion's free. I've only ordered 7 or 8 of that figure, 2-pack, and I'm not sure I have enough.
They're so good.
They are, yeah. And just the new parts you get there. And let's see after Legion's gone this year what they reveal. Whether I would be happy to see Dwarf Pack 2 or a dwarf using some of those parts. Maybe a single dwarf using a mix of the two.
I'm hoping for some version 2 dwarves. We need some of the old school guys back.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah. So these are. I guess they're custom torsos as well on this one.
The silver one is like the heads, the shield, the sword are Jason Rodriguez, and so is the silver chest.
Right.
The right chest, the red chest, is Mythic Bits.
Chris, nice.
They're little inserts.
Oh yeah, to go on the like the Bardric torso or Valak torso, whatever. Very cool. And you got some soft goods there as well. Some capes.
Yep.
This mad guy here with these wings, where are they for? Is that a Mezco Batman?
Yeah, it's wings? The Gotham
by Gaslight.
Yeah. And the best part about and Chris, I stole the idea from Chris from Mythic Bits. They plug right into the shoulder pauldrons, the balls. Way. And so they can still, I mean, I wouldn't wrench on them, but they can still, come in and out a little bit, and obviously they're still articulated. So they're perfect. Like they just pop right in.
Fantastic. And again, I noticed the torso here, I think from Anthony.
Yep, Anthony. And then there's he did a hot air balloon guy, which is where that head is from. And then I took the backpack and I kind of modified it to get the plug off of the balloon part, and the propeller broke off of mine. So I modified it and put a magnet on it so you can actually spin the propeller on the back of them.
Cool.
And that's what the little handle goes back to the backpack. And so the shiny red button on there is I sawed down one of the cosmic plugs for the weapons and painted over the clear and then super glossed it so it looks, like a little red shiny button.
Oh, that's very cool. Nice. So more use for the cosmic plugs. Put them everywhere.
They're already everywhere.
Yeah. It was.
But I still save them. Every one I open, I still save them. I don't know why, but I do. I don't need them.
I was putting a pair of jeans in the wash the other day, and I was emptying the pockets, and what was in there? Yeah, some cosmic plugs.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
The new shield, the new wing adapters, aren't they, for cosmics?
Oh yeah. You just can't build anything out of them though.
No, but they're very useful for connecting stuff, especially to cosmic. Right, we got firstly this dwarf here on the left of our screen. Mm-hmm. Tell us about that one.
So I found a guy on eBay, and a lot of people have. I can't remember his eBay store. A lot of people have found him now. He makes really, really good wired capes. It's a nice thick, and he only sells them for like $12 or $13. Like they're which is really cheap. Mm-hmm. And he'll also do custom colors. Well, so I started talking to him a lot, and I'm like, I would love one with a fur top on the cape. So he actually made a sample with this cape with the fur all sewn on and attached to it, and he's like, yeah, I'm not doing that again. He said it's just really hard, and so I wanted to build a whole custom around that cape, which is where this guy came from. And I will never paint that head again, even though I love it, because I had to paint those eyes through the eye slots.
Yes.
And it is brutal. I do not like that at all.
Yeah, just whack a load of metallic and say, oh yeah, it's a see-through shield.
But I love, like, a lot of my stuff, I'll paint like pieces that maybe aren't traditionally painted on stock Legions, like just the top of the gauntlets or of the, and just try to mix it up a little bit. And then obviously do, I like a lot of wear on my stuff. I want it to look like it's used. And then the other one is obviously that was probably the one on the Three Monkey Pirates is probably what I got most attention for that was right at the end of my first year painting.
Mal has definitely brought them up more than once in our group chat.
I think they're incredible. I love them.
And it's funny because, everybody, before the Monkey King was announced, everybody was like, oh, it's going to be a pirate, because it looked like scrolls, maps, and all this.
That's right.
And so when he came out as, it was Monkey King, I'm like, and then the Marley body came out and everybody was making pirates. And I'm like, I'm going to make a monkey pirate, because everybody thought the monkey was going to be a pirate.
Yeah.
And Anthony gave me the tip on just using the top of those boots. I had to Dremel it out a little bit for the feet to pop in. So he still feels like he has that Monkey King portions.
That's right.
But yeah, I made the red one, which I don't keep a ton of my customs anymore, but that's, I keep him because he's one of my favorites. The blue one's going to be at the table at Legion's Con. And then the other one was a Jack Sparrow custom I did inspired custom I did for George from the studio.
Oh, cool. So that's gone to a good home.
Yeah. And that was like, again, I always try to, like, it's kind of hard to see on that picture, but I got a white scarf for 3 3/4 figures off eBay, and I took a red marker and tried to draw the lines that are on there. Here's the annoying part. He's holding a map in his hand, which came off the Kratos off his little bag with the little map attached to it, and I cut it off, dremeled it down, and then the map or the accessory pack with the little scrolls came out, like, hit the and then he's got a gourd, and then he's got the figure obscura key, and then instead of a monkey bone paw, he has a human bone hand on his belt.
Nice. Yeah. Gotta keep your scores.
Yep.
Right. And then we've got couple of guys with glowing eyes. Love these.
Yeah, that's something else that I get a lot of comments on is my OSL object surface lighting for my glow eyes. It's a really fun technique to do, and it's not that hard. You just have to be patient with it.
Yeah.
It's a white and then super thin layers of the fluorescent, because if you do them too thick, it darkens real quick.
Yeah.
And then you get these dark patches, and then just some dry brushing on the surfaces where the light would land, and then tons of gloss varnish on the surfaces so they pick up the lights.
Nice.
And I love that kit on the right, and I was bummed when Legion Shop discontinued it, and then Lynn has now picked up those files, and so I was able to get some more of those from him. It's just a real unique head because those eyes are holes, like, and so what I do is I paint the neck peg that green, and so since it's kind of hollow, it gives it that depth.
Cool.
Because it's not painted on the surface. So Lynn was messaging me. He's like, "Do you want me to fill those in? I can fill." I'm like, "No, don't change that, please." That's my favorite part of that head.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so I kind of went for like a BioShock kind of vibe with it. Was it CB Mike or CBI Mike? I can't remember all these people I buy parts from. The hand drill, and there's a tank on the back that come from him. Yeah. And then that's a Wolf King wrench.
I love the drill, or the kind of drill bit for an arm. It's really cool. Yeah. Right. What have we got next? So more glowing. So this goblin is a goblin with another.
Yep. It's a goblin. Those were some planetary dog parts.
That's where they. Yeah, that's how I recognize them. Very cool.
The hook was just supposed to be plugged on to like a staff or something, or like a spear. And what I did was I took the connection point out of his hand and basically pulled the hand off, and then glued it inside the hook so it can still turn and articulate, pop out just like a hand.
Super.
And then that's the other yellow guy I was painting right after. I was kind of going for like a construction vibe mech, which is what I was going. And I have one guy that as soon as I put one of those up, he's like, "Okay, I'm picking that up at Legion's Con." So
nice.
Actually, a lot of these I've pre-sold like 20 customs before I showed up.
Nice.
And I still have I'll have like 10 at the table plus about 45 or 50 heads.
But are you going to keep the ones even you've sold at the table until the end of the weekend?
Yeah, that was part of the deal. Was I wanted to, I want to you guys know, it's like going to an art show when you see all this talented stuff. I want stuff to be seen. Now, if somebody's there only on Saturday, just pick it up point of the day. But everybody's like, yeah, I don't want to carry it around all weekend anyway. So just pick it up on Sunday.
Yeah, we had Rich at regular intervals coming back to our area with the bubble wrap and stuff over the weekend.
Yeah, I handed his at intern. I was like, cool, I don't have to hold this.
And this was the last one you sent over. Is this a recent one I think you did? Demon guy.
Yeah, and it's funny because I don't like painting. Let me say, because every time everybody hears this wrong. I love painting heads. Like I love the detail heads. I don't love just painting heads.
Gotcha.
Like I'm going to have painted heads because not everybody can afford a full custom. Some people want to be able to pop and swap their own bodies and just slap a head on it. But I have a hard time with it because I need to visualize what the whole thing is going to be, and you can't always do that.
Yeah.
So I was painting some Fury Orcs, and then I painted this dwarf demon Fury colors, and it was going to be on my rack. And then I was just like, I just like it too much. And so the next day I built this custom for it using a lot of the demon parts and Poxus parts and everything's painted. Obviously the Fury arms are not painted and the chest isn't, but then I paint matched the legs and the shoulders to the Fury metal, and then obviously painted all the demon parts. I just have these weird something will get in my head and I can't sleep until I get it down, get the parts together, and start figuring it out.
Yeah, that's sometimes my problem as well, as I'm dying to get it done once I've kind of clicked in your head. Sometimes you need to just go, whoa, okay, let it happen.
Did Richard not send you any of the patina pictures?
No, actually, but we can get them up. Don't worry. Talk to us about your pins then while I do that.
Yeah. So my logo, I wanted it to be like an old school street sign, which, with those white and black signs. And originally it was going to be weathered and stuff, but it just wasn't translating right. So we just went with the straight white and black. And my buddy who designed that logo, he threw a bunch of different colors on it too, just to say for all. And then he did the Sesame Street color one. And I was like, holy crap, I love that. Like, which is like the shirts I'm doing and a lot of stickers I'm doing are all using those Sesame Street colors. And then Anthony was like, oh, well, you should make yourself a Muppet then, jokingly. And I contacted Mark. I'm terrible with names. He's in the community. And I sent him a picture of me and I said, I want to be a Muppet. And so I took his Muppet me and then my logo and pushed them together and then did the pins, stickers, and T-shirts. So yeah, it's Muppet me.
I'll be definitely grabbing a pin off you for sure.
I love that you have 3 different colorways.
Yeah, I had to do some purple gang love. Yeah. Which that one's the limited. That one's only 20 of those. 20 to start with. I've already pre-sold some. The black and then the Sesame Street one I have plenty of. I got like 40 or 50 each of those. So I got plenty of those.
Very good. And so how much are the pins if people want to?
$8.
Awesome. So get your $2 notes there for them.
Yeah.
and these are the stickers obviously in the same design.
Yep. Yeah, so when Lynn saw the Sesame Street colors, he was like, we're going to put that on stickers and we're going to put that on a shirt.
I love it. Yeah, Lynn's stickers are great. We had some last year we'll have some more this year. They're excellent quality, really good.
Yep.
Right, patina. Yeah, this is something you're known for as well. Maybe more recently. Right?
Yeah, it's which is funny because it was Anthony calls me the patina prince because he thinks it's funny. It was a custom. I did one last year because Mythic Bits did these little stands, little statue stands for dwarves, and so I painted one in this. I tried my best at doing it, and Anthony actually bought that custom from me last year. And I enjoyed doing it so much that I just kept working on it. And I've done it, half a dozen times now. And it's just one of my favorite paint things to do. I did this as Anthony's just as a thank you.
Yeah,
just
so these are kind of busts on a plinth.
The heads are swappable, but everything else is glued together.
What is that? Is that something you made yourself, the plinth? Or is that
no, it's a buddy of mine, Greg Cook, who does a lot of 3D printing. He gave me one of those as a sample at Joe Atlanta, which was just recently. I already messaged him I'm like, hey, I need like 5 or 6 more of those. But yeah, it's one of those things because most retail toys, it's just metal and then like a wash of the patina color. And I never really like that because I don't feel like it gives you that. Because a real patina thing has texture and has, this matte look to it. So it's like 7 layers of paint to get that look.
Yeah.
And then it's a lot of just trial and error and understanding where stuff would land, where it wouldn't land.
Yeah. Kind of tidying it up and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So you've also done an anvil here, we see. So
yeah, Dirk, we were leaving IshCon and Dirk was packing up and he was like, here, take one of these dwarf. The idea of those, because he prints them in like a translucent plastic, is so you can, and they're hollow, so you can put a light in them. But I wanted to slap my patina paint all over it. So I did.
Great. Works really great.
So one side has like flame eyes.
Yeah, so that's what I really like. So
if you turn it the other way, it's
like this.
Yeah, it's shut off.
And that's cool. And you have a few more patina guys here. So this is a trio of figures. Basically, the one on the right here is kind of the guy that we've seen with the.
Yeah, he'll be at him and Swig will be at my table for sale. Though obviously Swig has to stay with me until after the photo. The dyno was Matt from Defenders of Eden.
Oh, that's right. His prototype or whatever, blank.
Yeah, all of a sudden I got added to a Facebook chat group with me and he's a few other folks, some really super talented folks, and he was like, "Hey, I you guys are going to get something in the mail as a present." We had no idea, and it showed up a day later, and they were the blanks. And he was like, "Just do whatever you want to them." And I was sitting there struggling because, like, David Williams is one of the guys, and I'm like. Like, really? Like,
yeah,
I don't want to be compared to, these guys do amazing. And so I knew they were going to do more traditional repaints.
Sure.
So I'm like, well, what can I do? Okay, well, I can't do anything dwarf to it, but this is something that a lot of people know me for. So I did this on it. And that's a big figure to paint. Like it's a big figure.
It's a lot of paint, yeah.
Yeah. So that top left one was my first attempt at that patina, that picture you just brought up.
This one here, yeah.
Yeah. And you can see it's not as...
Yeah, it's not as kind of subtle or whatever. And
Anthony bought that last year, but I've gotten it at the point now where I feel like I can do it in my sleep.
Awesome.
So it's a lot of fun.
Cool. And the figure you got from Matt, that's actual plastic, so it's from the factory.
Oh yeah, it was an actual factory sample, and he's going to have all 4 of those on display at his table at Legion's Con. He'll have he's still got one more to reveal, so I won't say who it is. But yeah, it was very intimidating to be. In
well,
group.
you did good. You did good. Yeah. You figured it out. You figured out what would. Work best for you, and
I just didn't want to be compared to them. That's all.
It's tough. Of course, it's tough, but that's why it's good to have a few things that you at least. I mean, we think you're great at everything, but at least that you think you're good at, which is probably the most important. Sometimes.
So we're excited to see all. I don't know what Matt's going to do with them. Yeah. He hasn't decided. He may do a raffle, or he may. I don't know what he's going to do with them, but it'll be cool to see them all together at the table at Legion's Con, at his table at Legion's Con. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, for sure. So that was David as well. Do we know the other people, or is revealed? Or
I know one hasn't been revealed. I'm not sure if he's revealed the other one yet. He may have.
Okay,
I don't know for sure, so I don't want to say. Yeah,
makes sense.
It's because I was done painting that for like. Because I'm terrible at holding anything in. Like, I just can't do it. Like, my wife and I are terrible for Christmas because it's like, or birthdays. It's like, here's your gift 3 weeks early. And so when I'm done with something, I want to post it right away.
Yeah.
Because I want to share it. And I had to wait for like 2 weeks. I'm like, God, please post it. Please post it.
That's tough.
Luckily, he posted mine first. I was like, thank God.
Yeah. Love that. Right. And, are you going to intern or anything like that?
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll invited guest. I don't know whatever they call it.
Cool.
I'm a +1.
Yeah. So, you're coming with somebody else, or
no? I'm a +1 with George.
Oh, okay, awesome. Yes, you're a bit like us.
Yeah,
and we got invited.
Yeah,
we got invited for doing the show, so I think that's cool. It's very.
Have you guys been to intern before?
Rich has. And I suppose
that's right, because Rich was there with me last year.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's amazing.
I can't.
It's
wait.
such a good time. I make a whole week out of it because I leave Tuesday, and I get there Wednesday and kind of go into the studio and just kind of stare at the ceiling, just because I don't want to accidentally see anything because they're still going 90-0. I'm like, I don't want to see anything. Like people think, because I've known George for years, like, oh, so you know this, and I'm like, A, they're not going to tell me that. B, I wouldn't want to know.
Yeah.
Like, I want to sit in front with everybody else and scream my head off when they bring a damn bear out.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's more fun. Yeah. I mean, especially as what you've told us about, not wanting to post things once they're done.
Yeah.
If you knew about the bear 2 months before, I think that would be more punishment for you.
That would be horrible.
Yeah. Because actually one of the cool things about being there for the reveal, and even when there's online reveals, is all the kind of talking to your buddies and talking to all the people and, you know, the reaction in the room or whatever. So that's for sure.
I was just sit in the corner with my head up at this ceiling.
I was just imagining one of those cryptic Facebook posts. You guys will never believe what I've seen. I can barely take the anticipation. You're like, what's that about?
No, so I'm glad that I do not get any kind of secrets, because I'm not the one you want to give too many secrets to.
And also, if somebody who does know it accidentally lets it slip, you won't get the blame then, you know, or you know, if there is a rumor.
Slip it. I don't want to.
Yeah, that's sometimes the best.
It's
way.
Part of the fun, right? Because it's not like if I knew early, that doesn't do anything for me. I don't get them sooner. I miss out on the conversations that everybody's going to be having. So I miss out on the 1,400 posts on the same day that everybody's posting the same thing.
Yeah.
This thing the Four Horsemen posted? No, I didn't. What is it?
Yeah, for sure. It's a little bit. It's not the same depending on the line, but if you're into line but not mega into it, and then there's a long pre-order, and then it does eventually show up, and then at that point you might have moved on from it.
Yeah,
and it's a bit the similar thing. It's like you don't want to know about something too early.
Yeah, I mean, we already have a 18-month wait.
Yeah.
After finding out, I don't want to add 6 months to that.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I don't want to Necronominus this thing all the time.
Yeah,
like, that's just
because all you're doing is you're just moving ahead 6 months in the timeline. But then eventually you don't know the stuff that's not known. So
that's not fun.
Waiting. You're still waiting.
Yeah,
very good. And have you any apart from the Dwarf 2-pack, which I'm sure is probably your most anticipated, anything else you're really looking forward to that's on pre-order that we're waiting for?
I'm very excited for Atlas, just because Noble Bear was one of those factions that once I start, like, I was like, I'm like, I can't get this one, I can't get this one, and I can't get. I'm like, and it's just he's that. In my mind, just a great barbarian look, even though, you know, I guess I don't know what his official class is. I don't know what you would call him, but he just gives that grizzly look, and I love the dirty grizzly. That's why, like, that wave last year was one of my favorite things, just because with the Viking stuff and it just felt more lived in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Atlas, the Dwarf is 100%. Well, that and the Goblin 2-pack, I'm really excited about. Because I love when I can turn a goblin into a dwarf. It just makes me happy.
And send it to Dan Tobin and Marco Seal. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I love the packs that I get a lot of bits out of. Like the Mythic 2-pack from Legions Con this year. I'm all over for all those stuff in there. Yeah. So I'm real excited.
And there's the Atlas head in there as well. So that's also exciting.
It allows me to be able to repaint it, which makes me happy, because I can actually, because I would want to repaint an actual Atlas head. That would be weird.
That's what I'm thinking about, the part swap that Chris James is organizing. If there are some crazy people that want to swap their Atlas head, I'm sure we could pick up a few more happily.
You know,
the dream.
I'm toying with doing the part swap, because obviously I have so many just bins of, but I'm like, it's the same stuff that everybody has. Like, how many people need that spear or that axe, or like, but I can't throw them away. I can't do it. Like, I may just hand a bag to them. Like, I was at IshCon and I don't remember the guy's name. He was like, hey, if anybody's got any Goblin Deluxe Builder heads, if you give me up to 5 or whatever, I'll give you some money off or whatever. I gave him a bag of like 20 of them, because I've killed a lot of those dwarves or those bodies for dwarves. And I'm like, here, just take a bag of heads. Like, what am I going to do with these things?
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, Matt, thanks a million for your time. This was awesome.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see you and be on the same block as you. So we'll get to see good.
We're going to have a lot of fun in that aisle.
It's going to be great. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
So far, we've had a few people from the block on, so we're definitely building the hype for our little section. Very good. Thanks a million. Right, we got Jovanny from Black Magic Customs. You all know Jovanny. Everybody knows Jovanny. even if they don't know Jovanny, you know, it's just the reputation. It's the name.
No,
it's
Jovanny.
How are you, man?
I'm doing good, man. How you guys doing?
Yeah, super. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really getting in the mood for Legion's Con now, you know?
Yeah, everybody's getting in the mood.
Yeah. Exactly.
Trying to get in the mood.
So have
if
you been
not
busy
in the mood, try.
Have you been busy with customizing and all that kind of stuff, or?
To be honest with you guys, no.
I remember this from when we talked last year. It was like, you know, I'm you know, and you still ended up with some cool stuff at Legion's Con. So
yeah, I'm pretty good under pressure.
Yeah.
Because you know, time. You know, I don't have a lot of time in the day to knock a lot of things out. But I got some things I got some things worked out. I'm not ready. No, I'm not ready. Kind of taking my time, but I'll bring some cool stuff. You guys will see some cool stuff. Yeah, I try not to stress myself out, because I notice it can get really, really stressful, you know, because you're excited to see everybody, you know, you're excited for the toys, you're excited for the customs, you're excited to see people's reaction and things like that. But man, it can get stressful, and it can get very I don't know how to explain it. It can get very scary, almost in a way. You know, scary.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
I'm getting old. I can't have my heart racing too much for action figures.
Yeah, for sure. Do you get when do you get time to actually do the work? Is it just at weekends, or do you ever get time during the week? Or because I know you have a bit busy schedule with work. From assuming you're doing the same work as the last time we spoke. You drive, don't you?
Yeah. So some days I get home early, some days I get home late. Usually the days I get home late, of course, is when I'm ready to go and I have a little time. And then when I get home early, I'm just wasting time away. So, but yeah, I usually have almost every day to do something, but it doesn't end up playing out like that, to be honest with you. By the time I get home, dealing with the kids, the wife, getting something to eat, and just taking care of normal life things, you know.
Yeah.
It's hard to concentrate and get into that world and start painting and stuff like that, you know.
Absolutely, yeah. And are you continuing on a similar theme to what you've been doing with the, like, for example, you did a lot of customs. We'll have a look at them now in a minute, with the Anubis set. So that type of stuff, or?
Oh yeah. I already got him busted up already.
So how many of them did you get then? Or is it rude to ask?
I got rude to ask? No, I got like 3 sets.
Okay, so that's not too many.
I did want to get more.
Yeah.
But I figure I have so many other figures in box. I'm hoping maybe I could get some trades in. Maybe.
Yeah.
Somebody's interested.
Yeah. It's also it's always tough. A lot of the Figura Obscuras have great parts. For example, that coat from Jacob Marley as well. Obviously, the Anubis has the skin tones as well, and that we don't have in other figures, and lots of the cool accessories and kind of ornamental stuff. But they're a little bit pricier than the regular figures, so it's always a tough ask to rip it apart for a custom, you know.
I was just going to say that. It's a little tough, because it is, what was it, about $100 for both of them? It's like 120. Yeah.
Let's have a look at some of the stuff on your Instagram page, because that's always cool to look at. So as we said about the Anubis and Bastet, you have a couple of beautiful looking heads here. So this was stuff you brought to IshCon, is that right?
Yes, I did bring some of that stuff to IshCon.
And how did that go?
Trevor owns that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Trevor got that one. He got that one.
Very cool.
So it seems like your approach to sort of doing the customizing, that is sort of you do it for yourself, and then if someone does want it, you can be tempted and talked into maybe selling it. Would you say that's the approach, or are you more coming round to making stuff to sell?
Absolutely. I've kind of approached it where I would start off by painting it in a way that I would want it to be painted on my shelf. I do paint sometimes and I say, this is going to be for sale, but I do kind of like put that aside and say, well, what would I want on my shelf? You know, I kind of don't think about anybody else. Like maybe this person would want yellow hair. You know, if I'm not going to have a figure with yellow hair on my shelf, I'm not going to paint it, you know?
I think that's
so yeah, you could say approach it like that.
I love this this lady here with the hair is amazing.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Where did those sets come from?
My friend Chris gave them to me. He gifted them them to me. Yeah, I don't know where he gets his stuff. You think he gets his stuff on Etsy? It's called.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've heard of that.
Yeah, he has a lot of different sites where he can get these sculpts from. Yeah, I told him, I was like, man, I really need some African, some black females because there's not a lot of them out there, you know. And he found those for me.
Yeah, these are awesome. I mean, these could, cool. These could fit into a Marvel movie almost. They're so cool. Huh? Really cool. This guy here with the wings. Then tell us about him.
Ooh. I love that figure. I love that. I love how that came out. I did not expect it to come out that cool. Because as soon as we got the brute scale figures, of course I wanted to do that brute scale in black skin, and I didn't know what head I was going to use. I originally, if you scroll through there was another head. There was a wrestling head.
Yeah.
The guy with the braids. Yeah, that's the one. That's the original head, and I enjoyed that head on it. But I was like, you know what? I want him to have like a non-human look to him.
Yeah. So tell us how did you go about doing the symbol on this head? This guy here.
To be honest with you, I had no idea. I have no idea. I wanted to put something on something on there just to give it some kind of flair to it. Because when I painted it fully, it was cool, but I said I just want more to it, and I kind of freestyled it. First, I did like the half moon crescent, and then it kind of just went. I freestyled it, just went with the flow.
And do you just paint it straight out, or did you sort of draw it first, or?
No, I painted it.
Oh wow! Okay.
I painted it. It was tricky.
Yeah. And tricky, the full repaint of the brute scale is that's a bit of work, huh? You have another one here that you did in a kind of almost kind of purplish, light purple. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's amazing.
That one actually looks better in person than it does in photos. You could photos like you could probably see it more better in that picture if you So
well, it looks really good here. So it looks even better in hand. Then that's pretty impressive.
That was actually a commission for a friend of mine.
Oh, was it? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing about your paint jobs is they're always so smooth. I mean, so there's always a lot of love gone into them and a lot of time. Then, as a result,
for sure.
This is another guy. Is this brute scale as well? Or this is ogre, is it?
That's ogre scale, yeah. That's ogre scale.
Wow. So this is this something you'll have at Legion's Con, or is he gone already?
He's sold, but he will be at Legion's Con.
Cool.
So when I was going to IshCon, these were going to be for sale, but a couple of people hit me up and they kind of wanted to purchase them, and I sold them.
So some of my favorite stuff,
but they'll be displayed at Legion's Con. But he is picking them up at Legion's Con.
I was going to say some of my favorite stuff you do is your sort of more cosmic styled stuff. Have you got anything, or any of these, or have you got anything planned to come to Legion's Con?
Yeah, this is something I've been playing with. I've been dabbling in, kind of like into modern futuristic style. Because it's leaning towards cosmic, and then it's leaning towards kind of like modern day.
Yeah,
I'm just freestyling it. But it's like a cyber.
It's cyberpunk. Yeah, very cyberpunk.
Yeah. Exactly.
It does,
which is excellent.
It does remind me of that. Here's another one. Very cool.
Yeah, I like that one. That one came out good. I didn't know. I have no idea where I was going with it. Kind of like a military. I was gonna put some color on it, but I thought the black really good. Really good.
It really works. Yeah, it really just pops it. And you do a lot of female customs, which is something I think that's appreciated because not that many people do the female customs.
Yeah, I love the female customs. Got to have some females in there, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I think 50% of the problem with the female customs for people is they're difficult because they're smaller and takes a little bit more of a steady hand.
Yeah.
So that's Artemis there. Very cool. These motorbikes, are these something you did? Or is that from
so you're the first person to ask me about that. That bike, okay, that's a tricky one. You're the first person to ask me about that. I'm glad you did, because I actually have the bike here. I'm going to show you guys real quick.
Okay.
I hope my shit doesn't cut off. So here's the bike, right?
Solo, yeah.
All right. So what this was I didn't do this at all, but I did do something to it. So there is a bike like this that exists that you could just buy straight out the box. It's about $120. Right, it's $120 on Big Bad or on the website. But this is actually a 1/10 bike.
Right.
So what it was actually a statue. So when the game Cyberpunk came out, they sold a special edition where you could buy the video game with a statue. And literally this bike was like crashed in the front, and it was like on a statue like that. And there was a guy sitting on top of it, and he's jumping off the bike, right? But it was the only bike like this in existence that was 1/10 scale that would fit in with the figure, bigger figures. There was another one that was sold. It's like $100 and something, but it was 1/12, but it was small, like small 1/12. And all the figures I had, it just wasn't going to work. I watched some reviews.
Yeah.
And so what I did was I pretty much ripped this off the statue, and then it had no front tire because the front tire was crashed from the statue. So I cut it out, and then I made this tire. I made this whole thing right here, and then this tire came from just a random toy I got at the thrift store. So if you look in there, I don't know if you can see it in there, but if you look in there, all this is gutted out in the inside. Yeah. So I had to gut this whole front part out and then just replace it with the entire new tire.
Oh, wow.
And frame to make it like a 1/12, just to make 1/12. Because this bike is probably the coolest. It's the coolest street bike I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, it really looks realistic, but also a little bit futuristic.
Yeah, I brought this to Legion's Con last year, and people were looking at it, and they thought it was the 1/12 that you just buy, from the store. And they were like, "Oh yeah, I know what that is. Oh yeah, I don't know what this is." I was like, "Oh okay." But if you really looked, you would know this is not the bike. It's way more detailed than that other one that you would buy. But
yeah, for sure. When I saw it first, I was like, I don't recognize this from a figure. I think there was a Mezco Ghost Rider that came with a bike and probably some other figures, but I didn't recognize it.
Yeah, this one.
And we also have another bike here. It's like a dirt bike.
Yeah, that was cut that at Target.
All right.
But I did. It was the motocross toy. That's 1/12, but I actually repainted it, took all the numbers off, and I added a few things on there to make it look more cyberpunkish.
Yeah, because it's difficult to paint stuff that's so flat like that as well. You know, it's easier to paint stuff with texture on it. So that's a tricky little job of repainting that.
Yeah.
You know,
thanks for looking, man. Because you know, a lot of collectors, they don't really appreciate stuff like that. I mean, I love it when people ask and they notice it. You know,
no, for sure. We've had many chats in our EuroLegions show chat, just the three of us, you know, preparing for the show, talking about different small details of your customs and other people's customs, because it's always appreciated. And especially, I think anyone that's done a little bit of customizing, you tend to pick up the small stuff, because that's the hard stuff. That's the difficult stuff, I think. You know, the big flashy stuff that everyone sees, everyone does that. It's the attention to detail, you know, the little small stuff.
Yeah, the small things. One of you guys, I think I could. One of you guys bought a custom for me.
It was Rich. Yeah, Rich isn't able to make it to this. We're doing a couple of interviews today. He's not able to make it. It was Rich. Yeah, I think he will.
Okay,
because he's posting every couple of days his customs that he got last year at Legions Con. He's doing a bio for them and stuff. So I'm pretty sure yours will be coming up in the next couple of days or a week or two. So you get to read a bio about a custom that you've done.
He's posted in the Cabal?
He'll post it in the Cabal. He hasn't posted yours yet, I don't think. But he is posting them in the Cabal every couple of days. And he's also posting them on his Instagram. And I think I share them on the show Instagram as well. So yeah, you'll see it. Don't worry. I'll pop it. I'll also DM you, because I know that you're a busy guy. Not always possible to be sitting on social media. It's always tricky. And the way it works in the Cabal, you can just miss cool stuff. You can just fly by, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy what you miss, you know? Sometimes when I'm doing a bit of research for the show, whether it's to talk to somebody or just to, you know, maybe talk about some cool stuff, you can go back through the group and go, whoa, I missed that. And I thought I was on here, you know, 3-4 times a day. It's not enough. But I don't want to be on Facebook for more than that.
Yeah, I jump in. I try to jump in every day, and then I'll just scroll and see like a couple things, and then I got to get off. Yeah. So you end up missing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And it's big community now in online. You know, I think in person, obviously there isn't everyone that's on the Cabal at Legions Con, but there's thousands of people in the Cabal, and then you got a probably hardcore group that go to Legions Con. It's probably a good few hundred at this stage, at least.
Yeah,
crazy. So when you heading up to Legions Con? You going earlier in the week or?
We should be there Friday morning.
Friday, cool.
Yeah.
Who are you heading up with?
My wife.
Oh, you're going with the family. Cool. Just your wife or the kids as well?
Just my wife.
Oh, cool.
Just my wife.
Cool. That's nice. So you can have a bit of a nice relaxing weekend with some nerdy stuff.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be her first con.
Oh, is it her first con? That's a good one.
Her first con. She's in for a treat. She's in for a treat.
Is she gonna help out on the table, or is she gonna go and do her own thing?
I think I'm just gonna release her to the world. I think I'm just gonna be like, hey, just go walk around.
Yeah. Well, the Legions ladies will happily recruit her anyway, for sure.
Yeah, she'll definitely find some friends.
So nice. That'll be interesting for her to see how people treat you in that scenario, because if she hasn't been to a con, she maybe doesn't know how people kind of hold you in high esteem for your customs and stuff like that. She doesn't get to see that, you know?
Yeah, that's going to be pretty cool.
All those times she's like, why is he doing all that painting? You know, when he could be giving me more attention or he could be doing something around the house.
She knows I'm a nerd, but she doesn't know how much of a big nerd I am.
Yeah, no, it's great. I'd love to do that at some point. It's just tricky logistically, obviously, and also my wife's a teacher, so it's always LegionsCon seems to always fall in the term as well. So even if it's tricky, but someday, because my kids, I think they'd give one of their arms to go. So yeah, but I think they're a little bit too young for they're 9 and 12, so I think another couple of years. I think if I could just get them there for the Saturday, Sunday, that would be fine. But we're going Wednesday because we got to go to intern this year. So that would be a bit of a stretch, I think, for them. And for me.
Yeah.
So are your kids?
Yeah, my son was with me last year.
Oh, he was, wasn't he? What age
he
is
was
he?
with me last year, yeah. Right now he's 15. He's 15 now. Okay,
that's a nice age for that kind of stuff.
He's about 14. Yeah, he liked it. He enjoyed it. He had a good time.
Yeah. Was there any other kids really similar age that he got to hang out with, or?
No, not really. Not that I remember. He stuck by me through the whole con. He helped me out with my table, but he definitely was blown away. He kept saying, "Dad, come look at this. Come look at this. Dad, come look at this. Come look at this." And of course, he likes everybody else's stuff but his dad's. Yeah. that was pretty cool. Like, because he likes what he likes. He loves the Knights. And he definitely appreciates the whole collecting world, Yeah. But he's at the age now. He's like getting into girls and things like that.
Yep.
His appearance. So he even though he does appreciate the figures and stuff like that, he's not saying he's not crying about missing, LegionsCon.
Yeah, it's not cool.
He's not like us, like shoot.
Yeah.
It's not cool enough. Yeah, it's not cool enough at the moment.
Yeah, it'll come back around. He just need patience. Yeah.
Yeah,
it happens a bit with everything. I remember I dropped hobbies kind of around that time and picked them back up then later. And yeah, it's pretty normal. As long as he doesn't get himself in trouble, he'll be happy. That's the main thing, no matter what.
Yeah. My wife's gonna enjoy it. I know she's gonna enjoy it because my wife doesn't. My wife is a nerd, but she's the kind of nerd she doesn't know she's a nerd.
Gotcha. Yeah.
If that makes any sense, she'll get into things. She
probably doesn't have enough people in her circle that kind of let her release it.
Exactly. When I first started collecting Legions, I was trying to explain to her what it was, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's cool. Oh yeah, oh that looks cool. That's cool." And then when I actually got some figures, I got Hera Serpent Spire, and she's like, "What is that?" And I was like, "This is Hera Serpent Spire, Mythic Legions." And she was like, "Let me see that." And she grabbed it, and she's like, "This is cool." I was like, "It's cool, right?" And she's like, "Okay, don't customize this one. This one's mine." I was like, "Huh?" Right? So it's been on the shelf. I'm not allowed to touch it. I'm not even allowed to play with it. If she sees me, yeah. And then the demons, she likes the 2 demons, Azar and Zazar. Cool. She loves those 2. She loves the bio of that. She was nerding out with the whole.
Oh yeah, and then we got the Azahazer, then the big guy, the amalgamation of the 2. So yeah, there's a nice that bio is really cool. That's true.
Yeah, she said the bio on that is really awesome. But yeah, she's definitely gonna. And then I had a little get together at my house too, and I had Joe Russo, Eddie, Chris, a couple of some other friends from the Cabal to come over, and I said, babe, I said, I got some friends coming over. We're gonna do some pop and swabs. We're just gonna talk toys, and she's like, oh my gosh, okay, right. And then when they came and then we all started, she was on the front line. Mind you, I'm sitting on the couch and she's talking to my friends more than I'm talking to my friends. Right? And I'm just sitting there like cool. I'm sitting there holding my action figure like, oh my gosh, she just fully immersed in this world. That isn't she. Right? but she's gonna love it. She's gonna love it.
Yeah, that's cool. It could get expensive though if she starts to collect them as well. Then you know.
Man, yeah.
Yeah,
she'll budget that. She's
she's the one that's good with money, is she?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good.
I can't have any money, man. Trust me. All my money goes to her because.
So it goes back around, yeah. Yeah. Well, you got to know your strengths and weaknesses in all these things.
Yeah, I remember a Wave came out and then it was on Big Bad. I didn't pre-order it. I think it was Alithia, and I didn't pre-order anything from Alithia. And when it got into Big Bad, we were talking, and then I said, "Okay, babe, I got to get this Wave. I got to get some of these figures." And she was like, she's budgeting now. She's like, "Okay, pick 3." And I'll just pick them. Just make sure you don't like them. You have to love them because we can't get all of them. And I'm like, okay, so all right, let's budget. Let's see which one. And I'm literally looking at figures now. Like, do I love this guy? Do I like him? Do I love this guy? Okay, I need this one. I need this one. So we actually sat down and we're actually making a list. Like we're going to Walmart or something, a shopping list. What I can have and what I can't have,
Yeah, that's tough.
Let's just say she's a good
What 3 did you pick, or do you remember?
Budgeting. I picked Valak, Bardrick, and I think I bought 2 Bardricks. Yeah, it was 2 Bardricks and a Valak.
Yeah, got to get one to customize.
Yeah. 2 Bardricks and the Valak. Yeah, I got one to tear apart. Later on down the line, I did do some trades.
To get
Varg. I got Varg. Yeah.
And did you ever get to customize the Hera? Did you ever get to customize the Hera Serpent Spire then, or no? That's the one. No. That's a tough.
To be honest with you, how I feel it is. I actually have a second one, and I traded. It wasn't really a trade, so I actually got. My friend Jin, he's in the Cabal. He actually gifted me that figure.
Oh, wow.
Did he gift me that figure or we traded? I think we traded. I think we made a trade. No, he gifted it to me. I think he gifted it to me.
He's a good friend. We like him.
Yeah, he is a really good friend. We made a big trade, and then he ended up and he owed me a figure. He sent me the figure with Hera. And I was like, dude, you didn't have to do that. He goes, listen, I got like 3 of them. And your wife told me this story because he came over too. He was like, your wife told me the story that you're not allowed to touch her Hera. So I gave you another Hera. So I was like, all right, cool. Super. So when I got Hera, I didn't know what to do with her because to be honest with you, she's actually perfect the way she is. She's still like one of those figures that you just like, there's nothing I need to do. There's nothing I want to do. And so I had her in the box. And then Legion's Con happened last year, and I met this guy. His name was oh my gosh, I can't pronounce his name. I forgot his name. But anyway, he was asking. He asked me if I could do a commission for him, and I said, "What was your commission?" He said, "I just want you to take this Hera Serpent Spire head and fix the eyes, because he had got a Hera Serpent Spire from somebody, but it was a factory misprint."
The eyes.
So like the eye, so one of the eyes was printed on the cheek, and then the other one was like a place. So it was like completely. So I said, I think I could do that. I said, but it's not going to be exactly the same as the factory. He goes, yeah, I know, but I just can't have this Hera in my thing. So what I did was I ended up not even doing it. I said, let's just trade. I said, I'll give you the head of my extra Hera, and just give me that head.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I'll just do it like that.
Oh, very cool.
So I just gave him the head, and he gave me his.
And then you can customize it down the line if the inspiration hits.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly.
I reckon we might get a version 2 of Hera at some point.
It'd be nice. Yeah. As Jovanny says, it'd be difficult to top her. Maybe some soft goods. Now the way they do the soft goods is obviously a little bit more premium than the original soft goods, but
kind of like the figure that they just did a version 2 of what's the girl's name? She's blue. Zaza? No, not Zaza.
Yeah,
as a spirit bender.
As a spirit bender.
Yeah, and
the second
wave.
The second one is great, isn't it?
It is really good.
The first one was beautiful, just as beautiful.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. The first one was a little bit more simple build in that, it looked, I think if it was just in a smaller wave, it might have stood out more, but because it was in that massive wave with all those female figures and all that, it was like 42 figures in that wave, it kind of just blended in, and it was only a bit later when people were like, oh, this one is cool, and a lot of people mightn't have pre-ordered her, and so I think people are going to make up for that now for sure with this second one. Yeah, so I think that's kind of, if you were going to see another Hera, you might see a bit of that, and maybe a bit more ornamental stuff like that stuff from a Bastet, the gourd thing here on the neck and torso. That would be pretty cool as well. Something similar to that.
Torso would really work.
Yeah.
I would love to see her with her hair down, because she is top heavy.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, they could do a lot with her. Yeah, it would just depend on, and she's quite important to the story. So that's definitely another reason why I could see her coming in. But yeah, and is there any figures you're really looking forward to then that we've pre-ordered already? So the last few waves, is there anything that's
the entire Necronomicus wave?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was praying. I was like, man, another friend of mine, Chris, we were talking, and I was like, for the whole year, we was talking about, you think they're going to have it at Legion's Con? We were like, man, I hope they have it at Legion's Con. Yeah. And we just got closer and closer, and we're like, we haven't seen it on the water yet, but it's not going to be there. I mean, that ship has sailed. But yes, I'm still looking forward to that entire wave. That wave is great.
That cold January after Christmas, I know it doesn't get that cold down in Florida, but maybe a bit colder than normal. That January after Christmas, this coming Christmas, hopefully the Necronominus will be hitting the post box. That would be pretty sweet. I think didn't we get something this year as well around January? I know that we have had a couple of the bigger waves arrive around January. I think Alithia was maybe one that came around that time. It's always nice to get something just after Christmas that you've ordered 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So it doesn't come out of the budget.
For sure.
Yeah. No, the poor guys that ordered on Big Bad Toy Store, that might be a different story.
I ordered a couple of extras, a couple of tuberculi from Big Bad, so... Yeah.
I pre-ordered. I actually pre-ordered a few from the pre-order from Necronomicus, so I don't gotta wait too long. Like the Big Bad guys.
Yeah, that's going to be.
They've been pretty good though. They've been pretty good. It's been like it's really not much. It's not much of a wait,
No, that's true. Yeah, there's. It's normally was the month after or something. It's been pretty solid, and then you got also. Bunch of other retailers. Some of them are very quick. The day that they're allowed to ship, whatever the retail date, boom, it's gone. Lots of people getting them. So that's definitely a big improvement on the past. Well, Jovanny, do you have anything else for us before we head on further on the road to Legion's Con? A few more weeks now.
You're asking, do I have anything else?
Yeah.
Not really. Just stop by my table. I have some new heads that some people haven't seen, that no one's actually seen yet.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty much it.
So you're behind us. What number is that?
15.
15.
Is it 15?
Yeah.
15, I think it is.
Oh yeah, you are, aren't you? You're like right.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. We got the
we'll be
we're the first alliance.
We have the first alliance, yeah.
First alliance.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Stephan was to say, he'd say the first alliance. I was rolling. Did you guys watch the show? When he said that, I was like, oh, he said it.
You're 15, and we're kind of just diagonally behind you. So, yeah, you're right beside Chris.
It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun.
Directly behind Immortal. You know those guys as well. Obviously, Tristan and Carlo. Immortal Collections.
Oh yeah. Those guys, great people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Their heads are hard to paint. Like I have this head from them. He gave me last year, and oh my gosh, I mean, beautiful head.
Oh, sculpts. The Oni head. Yeah.
They kind of scare me though, because I know once I start painting this thing, it's probably going to take me about a week. There's so much detail in it.
Turn into an obsession. It'll be in your dreams. You'll be thinking about it, and you'll be like, oh, maybe I could do it this way. Maybe I could add a different color. Oh, yeah. But they're good. An awful lot of talented people, and you were definitely one of them, Jovanny. So we can't wait to. And I'm really happy this year because I didn't get to hang out with you that much last year. So being right near us in the tables, that's going to automatically fix that. So if we can,
I'm gonna tell you guys right now, that's every year. You're not going to be able to hang out with anybody long enough. So you might as well just go ahead and say, just when we see each other, we appreciate the little bit of time that we'll have with each other. Because there's gonna, you know how it is. You guys have been there.
Yeah, big time. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, and
everyone says that.
Once Friday night comes and it's set up, then it's like boom, gone. It's Sunday evening before you know it. Yeah, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. So don't spend too long in queues. Hang around, talk to people. That's much better. Yeah. All right, Jovanny, thanks a million for taking the time, and good luck over the next few days. I know there's not going to be some nasty weather coming your way, so hopefully you manage to avoid it. Yeah.
Will do. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me, guys.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Right, there you go. There's our interviews for this week. Hope you enjoyed the show. That was pretty fun times.
Some great interviews again there.
Some great interviewers as well, let's be honest.
Oh, well, we know that bit already, don't we? So
yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, no problem. Anytime. Very good. So look forward to a bit more next week. We're going to have lots of other awesome people. We're actually doing a load of interviews next week for the next upcoming episodes. So pray for our internet connections, pray for our voices. Rich is the big finger crossed there. And pray for our guests that they manage to get to us in a good way. So that should be exciting coming over the next few weeks. A couple of more Road to Legions cons. And then we'll be there. It's almost as you listen to this, almost 4 weeks to Legions Con. A month.
It's exciting.
It is indeed,
very exciting. Yeah, I'm beginning to get a bit giddy now.
Yeah.
Aren't we all? Rightio. So as I just find the outro music, that would be a good idea. Haven't listened to this one for a while,
And since Rich is reading something, I'll say, stay safe out there.
Oh yeah.
I was waiting to the end, but Aros and Ddiogel, everybody. So that's in Welsh this week in celebration of Gwion's birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Gwion! Last
happy
week.
Birthday, Gwion.
And today while we record. Yeah, I laughed there because we still have interviews to do for the episode. So
that was why.
It's going to be fun.
That's why I said it.
Right, I'm leaving this in.
Yeah.